Hello. Good to come back and for another weekend of fun. I hope everybody had fun since we are still in the summer. I'm excited to get back to you guys today. Excuse me whilst I listen to this music for a while. Okay, so my name is Sroda Aglago, and of course, welcome back to Love, Forgive, Live podcast. Anyways, so here it is. Today's topic is something that I have thought a lot about and, of course, experienced just like everybody else. And in terms of how the topic affects everybody, it affects everybody differently. The topic I'm talking about is adversity, difficulties, and things that challenge us to our very core. And I know I covered part of it in another episode. Today's own, I'm just going to talk more about how that helps us. How does that help us grow as an individual? Now, in doing so, I'm going to dive into my own personal experiences and how when I kept quiet and didn't rise up for me, stand up for me, it disturbed me, but we'll get to that later. But mainly, I'm going to discuss more about adversity. What is its purpose in our lives? Why does it keep coming over and over? And if it keeps coming over and over and over, what is its purpose? What does it do to us? How does it serve us? And above all, what do we do about it? Okay? What do we do about it, and how do we make that work for us? That's the key. How do we make it work for us? Adversity is something that every human being will experience, has experienced, and is going to experience in the future. Okay? So as soon as you come to planet Earth, it's expected. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do to avoid it or run away from it. It is what it is. Now, today, I want everybody to understand one thing. You are an amazing being. And you came here loaded with a world of information to share with the world, to share with the environment you're in, and to make an impact. Period. You were created to make an impact in the world. Please, no matter who you are or how significant you feel you are, you matter and you do make an impact. No matter how many people tell you that you don't make an impact, hear this. You do make an impact. If an ant, a crawling tiny ant, makes an impact in this world on a giant human being compared to that ant, let alone you, a human being, come on now. You matter that much. If you think you're that insignificant, please look to the ant and recognize its strength, and recognize its beauty, and recognize its work and its wisdom. Now you get it. You do matter. You do make an impact. And the world is waiting for your music. Sing. Sing loud and clear. Those who will hear you will hear you. Those who don't want to hear you, they will not hear you. It's okay. You don't need to please everybody. You just need to please you. That's the beauty. You do not need to please anybody but you. Look in the mirror. Say to yourself, I can only please me. The burden and the purpose of pleasing others, it doesn't exist and it's not your job. You can only please you. Please hear me clearly. This delusion of us feeling that we can please other people and make other people happy, it doesn't work. It just keeps us trapped in a box when we cannot move. And you know what? Even that, we still don't please them. So focus on pleasing you and doing the best you can be. Just be you. Be present and do the best you can be. Okay? So, the question is, why do we go through adversity? Why do the difficulties come to us? And what is its purpose? In a nutshell, it's to teach us. Wait, what? What did I just say? It is there to teach us. Teach us lessons. And the best thing you can get out of it is to be present. Focus. Listen. Recognize what he's teaching you. And if you cannot see it, ask. What lesson am I supposed to get out of it? I promise you the universe will respond to you. And it responds swiftly and clearly. There's not going to be any mistake with it. So being present is extremely important to recognize the lessons. And I promise you, once you get it, you're ready to move on to the next one. That's the beauty. Another thing I recognize adversity to serve in our lives is to teach us to become much more equipped as human beings to stand in our truth. Yes, to stand in our truth and own our voice. Let me say it again. Adversity teaches us, or one of its purpose is also to teach us to stand in our truth, in our purpose, and own it. It's that simple. And yet difficult for so many of us to grasp. So we wrestle against it. We struggle for understanding. We struggle for meaning. We struggle for peace with the process. So unfortunately, a lot of us try to run, and I mean run, against it. Newsflash, you cannot outrun yourself. Let me say it again. You cannot outrun yourself. I know. But a lot of us do try to run. And the strangest thing is the more you run, the faster and harder the adversity gets. And sometimes it gets worse. That's the annoying part. And you're like, why can't I just get away with this? Why is this always happening? Please slow down, be quiet, and listen. Ask the questions and be patient enough to listen. Because that's how you're going to get your results and your answers and begin to seek what you need to grow. Okay? The other thing is adversity helps shapes our journey as to who we are, who we become, and of course, become more focused on our purpose and becoming a driven being to just do what we came here to do. It's that important. And of course, lastly, adversity is the building block of resilience. Yes, adversity is the building block of resilience. For each adversity you go through, when you overcome it, you become stronger. Resilience becomes much more solid in your life. And when that happens, look out, world. Here you come. Here you come with you. And all your fabulousness and all your greatness and all your sweetness and all your joy, all your love and that beautiful light within you. You begin to shine it. And holy macro. Yeah, I got to get out of the way. Because you are shining and you are ready to rock the world. In that little corner that you are in, you're ready to rock it. And when you are ready to rock it, hold up. We all have to stand in line. And I promise whoever it is that this is getting to, this message is being received and is beginning to touch them in their core and allowing them to grow within. Understand this. When you begin to rise, I promise you, if you let me know, I will cheer you on. I will cheer you on and say, bravo, keep it moving. Because guess what? I'm good at being a cheerleader for everybody or anyone. Just tell me what you are going after. And the best thing is when it's to serve humanity, I'm all there. I'm all in. Allow your greatness to be able to flow through and shine through because you are the light. It's in you and it's in all of us. Let it shine. Like I always say, do not dim your light for anybody. Do not ever dim your light to please anyone because in the end, you're the one who's stuck with exhaustion and still not being effective in any way. So allow the adversity to do its work in you. And the process of going through it may be painful, may be difficult, may be annoying, and of course, tiresome. But I promise you, if you stick with it and go through it, as horrible as it may seem, during the moment or that awful dark valley, you will come out of it. And when you come to the other side, you will look back and say, how in the world was I able to get through that? How in the world was I able to survive that? And how in the world am I still able to stand? Now that is victory. Victory enough to dance. Victory enough to pat yourself in the back. Because guess what? You just won. You just won. And I don't know about you, but winning feels really good. Okay? So allow your adversity to work through you. Because when you go through it, there's a beautiful, beautiful result on the other side. I always say, once you walk through the fire, once you're in the fire, it's a lot of work and it's painful and it's difficult. But when you get through the fire and get to the other side, it's peace. Here's a word to us from our sponsors.